Continents. We've heard of this, or this, or this. Europe is by far the safest continent in the world, and it has the largest amount of developed countries. When we hear the word Europe, we think of Germany, Italy, Spain, and more. Continents are supposed to be large, continuous, discrete masses of land, ideally separated by expanses of water, which makes us wonder why Asia, Europe, and Africa had to be a separate continent in the first place. Well, let's get on with the video. Let's start on the simple side of Europe. Let's start in Norway, top of Norway. We can trace Norway moving down Sweden and then Denmark. Pay attention to this red line because everything inside is part of Europe and everything outside isn't. We can finish the Baltic Sea and up to the Gulf of Bosnia. Back to Denmark, we can continue our journey to Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, then France. We all know that the UK is part of Europe, as well as Ireland and all of these small islands like the Faroe Islands. But if we go west to the Norwegian Sea, we reach We reach Iceland. Iceland is in the middle of North America and Europe. But which continent is it classified as? Nordic countries like Norway, Sweden, Finland all have good relationships with Iceland. This country is part of the UN, the Council of Europe, NATO, and others. The distance between Iceland and continental Europe is shorter than the distance with mainland North America. However, the island of Greenland, which is considered a North American island, is the closest to Iceland, which is the distance between the two being 180 miles. Going by this geographical positioning, it would be easy to conclude that Iceland is a part of North America. However, for reasons based on politics, history, practicality, culture, and geography, Iceland is a part of Europe. Moving on, we come to Spain, Portugal, and then the Mediterranean Sea. Africa, which is below the Mediterranean Sea, contains countries like Algeria, Libya, and Tunisia. Continuing off Spain, we move off to the south of France, trace around Italy, and then a whole lot of smaller countries. We go to Slovenia, Croatia, and a small bit of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Finally, the interesting part. This is Turkey. Not this one, but the country. Turkey borders Greece and Bulgaria to the west, Syria and Iraq to the south, Iran, Armenia, Georgia to the east, and the Black Sea to the north. Turkey is a big country on the crossroads of Europe and Asia. Turkey borders European countries and Asian countries, but which continent is it in? If we look back at our definition, continents are large, continuous, discrete masses of land, ideally separated by expanses of water. So since Turkey is so large, the most obvious place is the Bosphorus Strait that cuts right through Turkey, separating it into Asian Turkey and European Turkey. And yes, this means that Turkey is a transcontinental country and makes Istanbul the only transcontinental city in the world. Going on, we trace the top of Turkey, Sea of Azov, and into Russia. Then we follow the Don River to the Volga River to the Samara Bend. Then move across the highland ridges of the mountains that I cannot pronounce and follow the peaks of the Ural Mountains all the way to the Arctic Ocean. Here, Russia is split into Asian and European Russia. But maybe you feel that the border should be more defined on water, like the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. And since the Kuma-Manich Depression is a valley that once connected the two bodies of water, maybe we should go to the Kuma-Manich Depression along with the Caspian coast and follow the Ural River to the Ural Mountains and up to the Arctic Ocean. But this time, both Kazakhstan and Russia are both split up. But there still is a third option. Maybe you think that we need to base the border on natural features like the Ural Mountains. So we need to go to other mountains, like the Greater Caucasus Mountains, instead of the Kuma-Manich Depression. And from here, we follow the same path, from the Caspian coast to the Ural River to the Ural Mountains. This gives us three options: the classical, the water-based, or the mountainous. Actually, there's much more, but these are the main three. And for this video, I'm going to choose the one that is most favored by modern-day geographers. That is the last one, the mountains. From this, we can see that Georgia and Azerbaijan are mostly in Asia, but have pieces in Europe. This is a bit odd because the two countries and Armenia are usually considered more European because of historical reasons. All three are in the Council of Europe, the EU's Eastern Partnership, and the Eurovision Song Contest. Azerbaijan even won it in 2011. Working to Kazakhstan, it is clearly transcontinental, but the country is mostly considered Asian because of cultural and geographic similarities to other Central Asian countries. And finally, from the Arctic Ocean, we can trace off the rest of Russia. Now this part is pretty interesting. This last bit of stretch is actually considered to be a part of North America. Just kidding, it's European. And we're done. In this video, we learned how Turkey is split between continents and how the east side of Europe is divided. The European borders have changed throughout the last decades, but now the borders come to a halt, giving us room to talk about it. Long ago, many empires ruled this area, like the USSR and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Now they have both dissipated into smaller countries with different takes in their land. Learning about these borders will help understand how power is different from what it was before. Thank you for watching my video on the European borders.